Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies, where we specialize in bringing you the truth.
Wow,
Today,
that's different.
yes, today
Huh?
I am an investigative journalist,
Oh
and we've
Lord.
gone undercover to
Oh Lord.
uncover all kinds of stuff. My name is Dan. You can keep up with me on both Twitter and IG at I am Dan on Drugs. Keep up with the show on all platforms at Black Law Podcast. And don't forget, we have merch that's on our website,
Merch.
blacklawpodcast.com/shop.
I am another one of your hosts for today, Afro Becky.
Wait for the day as opposed
Becky.
to any other day.
Yep.
Interesting. Hi, and I'm Just Dan, and you can follow me on Twitter at I Tell Legal Lies
For what?
because they want to know. That's how they get in contact
Man,
with
who be
me.
contacting you? People?
If they
people be
want to,
contacting-
you can contact me. I do answer. Just drop me a direct line. That's all.
That's-
because it's all about discretion.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
attorney-client privilege and all that. Not that.
Wait, so
we
you got
have
Twitter
any-
clients?
I'm saying not that anybody that
Man.
DMs me on Twitter is client and that a client-attorney relationship is formed. But rather than putting it out there on the thread, if you DM me, you have more of an expectation of privacy.
Well, see, this is my thing. I heard that DMing an attorney creates a attorney client.
Who
Yo,
told
did you see
that?
that email I sent you that we got from the
From
show?
the yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that shit was funny, ladies and gentlemen. So there was
But that nurse actually said everything that we said in the show.
no, man, not that. Shout to Ben too. I'm gonna read his email towards the end of the show about the lady that needs representation because she was awarded $800,000
in a divorce settlement.
Yeah.
Stop it. Was she from Japan?
I don't know. Her
Or
name
something
was
like, man,
Chang.
stop it. Stop it.
That shit was hilarious. So anyway, it was a scam, ladies and gentlemen. And I figured, But today, what we're going to talk about is nudist.
Not nudist. Absolutely not.
Well, from my understanding, and this is from my understanding, is a woman is currently in jail, in prison.
She is not in jail.
Let me finish my understanding. This is my understanding. A woman is currently serving time because after getting out of the shower, her children saw her naked.
Really? That's your understanding?
That's what was explained to me.
Who explained it to
You did.
Lies. See, telling you, boy, you said you were an investigative reporter and this was about telling the truth.
My
and
sources,
you're lying. You're lying already.
My sources say. Okay, so anybody else care to say what happened? Because I can keep going.
Yes, please keep going. Let me finish hearing.
Okay, so I heard, when she got out the shower, she didn't grab a towel. Now that's the first thing she did wrong. Who the fuck doesn't grab a towel when they get out the shower? So therefore, it was her intent, and that's what the law is actually based on. The law is based on the reasonable man standard. Would a reasonable man have, or woman in this case, grabbed a towel after bathing? I think the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is yes. A reasonable person
and
would have.
this is from a man who actually washes his nuts first.
Yes.
You're not a reasonable person.
That
so
is.
no.
You saw the answers.
And you saw the answers.
90%.
They backed me up.
90%.
No, they backed because you said everybody.
Yeah.
You said every man.
Every man.
And every man was
10%,
a lie.
The 10%
Was a
that
lie.
said they don't, they're not men.
Oh, boy. I hope you leave this segment.
Man, I'll leave everything I say in.
Leave it in, please, because somebody.
Man.
What the hell just happened?
Oh, man, don't worry about it. It just be doing shit.
Yeah. They gonna bust you up. No doubt.
Bust these nuts.
Anyway, what we're actually gonna be talking about is we touched on this I think it was last week, about gender inequality when it comes to certain laws, and how there are laws on the books in the states and federally that impact women more than they impact men. So, in particular, we are talking about this Utah mother who is being charged with lewdness involving a child. Actually, 3 counts, because there were 3 children, because she was in her own home and her children saw her breast. So this is the scenario, and I know everybody's gonna chime in on this as far as whether or not she should have done this and if she should be charged and whatever. She is fighting it, by the way, with the help of the ACLU. But here's what happened in a nutshell. So the children in question are her stepkids, 3. They range in age from 9 to 13. The woman and her husband were in their garage hanging sheetrock, from what I understand. Husband takes his shirt off because, things getting dusty, things getting sweaty. You're in a garage doing work. He pulls his shirt off. Well, woman like, okay, you pulling your shirt off. I'm doing the same work you're doing. I'm pulling my shirt off too. She pulls her shirt off.
Okay.
Children come into the garage and they see her naked breasts. Okay. Fast forward. As I said, these were her stepkids. So apparently, kid's mom, after they hear about the incident, she's alarmed by the situation, and
So she heard about the incident from the children.
I'm going to assume that every article that I read about this, they don't say how she found out. I'm going to assume it's from the kids, because I'm more than sure the ex-husband or the dad didn't call up and say, so the kids saw Joni's breast. So mom finds out there is this investigation. I think Children's Services actually investigated, and as a result, she's charged with 3 counts of lewdness involving a child, which it's a misdemeanor. But if she is convicted, she's found guilty, she has to register as a sex offender for 10 years. So,
Interesting.
what's our opinions, kids?
We'll start with you, Becky.
That sounds just fucked up. That's my opinion.
Wow.
It sounds very fucked up.
That's a very, very
Deep
very
dive.
That is a very intelligent opinion.
Yes.
It was very scholarly. So repeat
yeah.
that. It's
Very fucked up.
right. That man,
Okay.
look, you need to write a paper on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, time for my dissertation here, because let's
That was extremely,
okay, okay,
that
so-
was extremely.
But what is fucked up about it is, I think the mother, the biological mother, is using the law as a weapon to get back at her husband and his new wife.
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
okay. So here's my question. My question is, 1, did she have a bra on? Because I know we're saying exposed breast, but I just need to ask.
She did not.
Okay, so
So-
these are little titties then. These ain't even big titties.
I have no clue.
If
If
they
you
big-
if you look up, you can look up a picture of the chick. She's in the, like, her picture is on every
We'll post that in the video right down
and I don't think
here
she in
somewhere.
this thing, I don't think she, like, the picture I'm looking at, I see some nipples, so I don't even know if she wearing a bra.
So
Here,
little
so-
titties.
I
Little
don't look.
titties.
I don't know, because I
Little-
can't be judging whether or not her tits are big
Man,
or little.
flip it around. Let me see. Oh yeah, those is easily.
I mean,
eight A+
I-
maybe.
I could tell you they ain't Becky tits,
Nah, they not.
because
They
Becky
not.
got some whoppers.
Yeah, she got double D's.
She can be braless.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true.
And that's why I was asking. Okay, so
But-
with something that size, the significance of seeing them is just who cares?
Right,
It's
really?
like looking at two bee stings.
Really?
So
No, I mean she got nice size. She
that's definitely
you know
a
what?
B.
We
That's a
we
B
are
cup.
devolving into breast
Okay.
size.
Yeah,
A breast size conversation, but
that's a B cup.
B cups are good.
No,
Yes, they are.
C and above. I'm a breast man. C and above.
Anyway, so your opinion should
One, she shouldn't have taken her shirt off to work like that. That's just fucking odd. I know we're talking Utah, but
no, but we're talking. Think about this.
that's odd.
Yeah, men do this all the time. They're
Yeah.
outside working. It gets
Right.
hot. They take their shirts off.
Right.
Okay.
We can do that.
Why?
Well, some of us can. Others need
Others
to.
do it
Right.
anyway.
No.
Shout to Greg, our contractor. Greg, leave your shirt on, bro.
No. So why is it? And see, and this is what at the top of the show I said we're talking about, and last show or the show
Right,
before that we
right.
talked about laws that are on the books that affect women more than they do men, and equal justice under the law. So this woman is actually fighting this Utah
Right.
law based on that because her husband was topless, but he didn't get hit with 3 counts of lewdness involving a child.
I just think it's odd. Should she be charged and end up on a sex offender registry? Probably not. But she needs some counseling or
No,
something.
but you're saying probably not. But my question is this law fair?
I don't think so. Another scenario that you could apply this to is when a woman is breastfeeding.
Okay. Well,
Because-
judging by her titties, you ain't gonna get much food.
Man, shut up.
I'm not even talking about that. But
Okay.
so
Here comes
Yes, she was
Becky
in
with the
her-
hot take.
yes, she was in her own home when this occurred.
Mhm.
Yes, she was hot. Yes, she was working. But had she been breastfeeding at the time and these children happen to walk in at the time, would this still be the same thing?
All right, so let's talk about the law on the books. This is
Okay.
what Utah's law that lewdness involving children, or this is the way that the law reads. So, lewdness involving a child, as used in this section, in the presence of includes within visual contact through an electronic device. A person is guilty of lewdness involving a child if the person, under circumstances not amounting to rape of a child, object rape of a child, sodomy upon a child, sexual abuse of a child, aggravated sexual abuse of a child, or an attempt to commit any of those offenses, intentionally or knowingly, A, does any of the following in the presence of a child who is under 14 years of age, performs an act of sexual intercourse or sodomy, exposes his or her genitals, the female breast below the top of the areola, the buttocks, the anus, or the pubic area in a public place or in a private place under circumstances the person should know will likely cause affront or alarm, or with the intent to arouse or gratify the sexual desires of the actor or the child. So that's where they're getting her on this law. They're saying that so she exposed her breast below the tops of the areola.
Mhm.
So basically, if she would have had a bra top that only exposed the upper part of her breast, she would have been fine. But the fact that she showed her nipple.
That whole case is
All
odd.
right. So, and they're saying that she did it because she was in a private place, her own home.
In the garage.
And so she should have known that it would likely have caused a front or alarm. Because I don't believe they're saying that she intended to sexually gratify herself or arouse the children. They're saying that
She should have known better.
Her exposing her nipples, she should have known that that would spark a front or alarm among the children.
So, does it say what her reaction to the children barging in the area?
The thing is, so this is
try to cover up, or did she just?
Oh no, this is her statement. So check this out. So she says that when the children ages 9 through 13 walked in.
Oh, and of course they had to be the perfect age, huh? All of them under 14. Okay.
She explained she considers herself a feminist and wanted to make a point that everybody should be fine with walking around their house or elsewhere with skin showing.
Yo, back in my day, you couldn't show your ankles.
What day was that?
That was not.
That was 1860.
I wanted to bring that up as well. And because her argument or her lawyer's argument is this law does not treat men and women the same. And it doesn't, because he was showing his nipples.
Right.
All right. But that's their argument. That is, that part of the law is unconstitutional. The whole part about showing nipples, because that's the whole thing. If you read the law, because she exposed her nipple,
here's my take on that.
Is where the charges come in.
A man showing his nipples, that's one thing. Okay, you see boxers, they box without shirts on, right? Men's nipples aren't sexualized. Women's are, however.
Men's are sexualized too.
What the fuck?
I mean, I'm licking on people's nipples.
You nasty.
That's erogenous zone.
You nasty, and men don't like their nipples licked on.
Well, wait. Okay, this is going to be another source for debate. I beg to differ. You are one man. You cannot speak for the entirety of the male population. So unlike your nuts first, that was proven incorrect.
If a nigga got his titty in a girl's mouth, all y'all nasty.
Some men appreciate stimulation there.
Okay. Yeah, they're nasty.
See, like I said, why is it that
look, let's stay on track.
We are on track because we're talking about nipples.
A woman's breast is sexualized. That's just like, I can remember being a little kid and getting the Playboy magazines.
You mentioned in the 1800s, a woman's ankle was sexualized.
Yeah, back in my day.
Like,
but
you could not show your ankle, remember?
Look, I remember.
Well, no, I don't remember, but I remember hearing that.
Right.
Because I wasn't alive back then.
I remember being a young 7-8-year-old kid. So we didn't have the internet. We didn't have internet porn and
I had
whatever.
Playboy magazines.
Or
XXL.
We used to stash them
Penthouse
under the sliding board at the playground because there was community joints. So I can remember not even being interested in looking at the vagina or at the buttocks. I remember as a 7 or 8-year-old kid being fascinated by women's breasts. So they're sexualized. Men's, to me, they aren't. And I can see that being a point of contention in this argument.
And it is. And that is exactly why this is, like, I believe the judge heard arguments in February.
Mm-hmm.
And she still has not, or this incident happened in February. They've made arguments. The judge still has not ruled, because as the judge says, this is a to quote her, she said that.
Wait, the judge is a woman.
Yes, it is. Yes, she is.
They cheating.
So, whatever. Said it is too important of an issue to decide immediately. And it is, because once again, we're talking about laws that treat women and men differently. And that is something, you said I was always talking about a patriarchal society. And this law smacks of the way our society is. If a man is doing it, it's fine. But if a woman does it, there's a different set of rules that applies.
Kind of like how men can have abortions and women can't.
Kind of like men can't get pregnant.
No, but you could like jerk off into a paper towel. That's like an abortion.
Like men can't get pregnant.
Jerk off into a paper towel.
Anyway,
abortion.
As I said, you can show your nipples. It's a problem if I do.
And it would be a problem if you do. That would be a problem.
And that is an issue. And that is the issue in this case. All laws should protect male and female equally.
I'd like to hear the listeners' take. I mean, I honestly, to keep it real, should she be charged? And probably not. I still think that whole I'm a feminist, skin and whatever, walking around with your titties hanging out, hanging drywall, that's probably dangerous. You probably getting like that Chinese drywall dust all up in your titties and shit. Man, your titties are gonna fall off, lady. But that's just weird.
But you're crazy. But just to show you, or just to give the readers an inkling about how this particular issue is so divisive. In Colorado actually struck down a law that banned, that was this case that they had a law about women going topless in public, and that law was struck down. And the 10th Circuit, I believe it was, they upheld a block on that law, and that's in Colorado. But in Utah,
that's where they got all those polygamy compounds and stuff, right?
Well, that's where the Mormons are, huh? In Utah.
Yeah,
So, but in New Hampshire, which is surprising, they've actually upheld a conviction involving women who were protesting, and they were doing so topless. So,
oh shit, like homegirl that jumped out the bushes on Bill Cosby, the little light-skinned chick, looked like a little bush bitch.
He's stupid. And Missouri also upheld public indecency, and San Francisco, surprisingly.
So what is it around here in,
Louisiana?
In Louisiana, specifically in the New Orleans area, because we have that infamous street where, lots of things are exposed regularly.
Here's the skinny as far as we have public nudity laws on the books. Here's the skinny. We do.
Okay.
But certain times of the year, those laws are not enforced.
Well, let me tell you too, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come to New Orleans, especially during Mardi Gras, right? Ain't nowhere to pee on Mardi Gras Day. I'm gonna say that, but I'm also gonna say, yo, if you get caught pissing outside in the French Quarter, they will lock your ass up.
That's correct.
Like, so y'all gonna serve all this alcohol? Y'all ain't got no bathrooms out here.
Or you got to charge people to use the bathroom.
Yeah, the church was charging people $1.50 to use their bathroom. And it's like, seriously, yo? So then I got to pee. I can't find a bathroom. So I'm going to pee outside, and then I'm going to jail. And then you get a ticket for like $250.
Should have paid $150.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Man, I don't know. I'm just curious to see how this turns out.
I'm curious as well. I'm actually waiting for the judge to rule on this. because honestly, any way she rules, this case is actually it's tricky because
It's tricky.
no, it is because, as Dan said, women have been sexualized to the point where
They can't do the same things
that
that
men
can
can't.
do.
Right. So in this particular case, like I said, it was all nipple action from both parties. Yet she was arrested and charged, and the husband
Was not.
went about his business. So, and as I said earlier, states are so discombobulated. No, that wasn't a pun. Anyway,
Yes. It was a bad attempt.
I know. But they really are, because, as I was saying, San Francisco, in a state where you would think, in a city,
A very progressive city.
exactly, they've upheld public nudity bans. So you think, how far have we progressed?
Well, I think in many ways we have, thanks to the work of Ruth Bader Ginsburg prior to her becoming
RBG.
Supreme Court Justice.
Girl.
She did a lot of work surrounding laws that were inequitable to either women or men or people with disabilities. So she did a lot of work in this arena, but there's still,
There's
as
a lot.
anything,
Right,
there's a
there's
lot
a
of
lot.
more work to be done.
No doubt about it.
And honestly, like, one of my favorite things as far as my searches on Pornhub is public sex. And it's like you see some of the most creative.
Why the hell are we talking about Pornhub and your searches on Pornhub?
Well, public nudity, public indecency. That's one of my favorite things to search on Pornhub.
You are a freak and you
it's-
nasty.
You the one sucking nipples.
You nasty.
You the one
You
sucking nipples.
nasty.
I'd rather watch people have public sex than
nasty.
man. They be up and like, right hand to God. There is a video on one of these porn sites, a Walmart aisle during regular business hours.
Stop it.
Right hand to God. I was.
That's been photoshopped.
No. Like, the chick was acting like she was bending over and getting something, and then she was blowing the dude. And then when people would walk by, she would reach around to where they can't see. And then next thing you know, I'm like, oh, this all it is, a blowjob? Homegirl then hiked the skirt up, and
I can't believe that we're actually sitting here discussing you and your porn habits.
I was intrigued. I'm telling you, if you ever get bored, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you're at work, Google public sex on
Wait,
Pornhub.
Wait,
that's a legal lie.
On a
That's
work
illegal lie.
on a work computer, no less. Do that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I do it all the time.
Anyway, so stay tuned. We are going to have updates on this case when the verdict actually is handed down by Judge Petite. I believe her name is
Petite. And she judging some petite titties.
You know what?
Man, now that's a pun.
No, it's not.
That
Anyway,
was punny.
that's another. So we're polling. 1, male and female torsos. Should the laws be different? As in this case, in Utah. That's 1. 2.
My answer is no.
2. Are B cups enough?
What?
I don't want. You know what, ladies?
See, I want
This is the
because
thing.
you already said it.
No.
You already said she's a part of the itty bitty titty committee. You already said that. So back it up. B cups are enough because you said C and above. Do you think B cups are enough, Beck?
Okay, I'm sorry. We lost track for a second. I was getting a phone call and the process got interrupted. send the motherfuckers a voicemail. Now, are B cups enough?
Are B cups enough?
Motherfucker, stop calling me. Next time they call back here. Call back. Come on. I don't even know the number, but they about to be on the air.
It's about to be a telemarketer is what that is.
They fucking with my shit because every time my phone rings, the thing stops recording.
All right, so
are B cups
are
enough?
B cups enough?
They're enough, sure. Are they my preference? No, my preference is
That's
C
not what you said
and
earlier.
above. I honestly don't remember what I said earlier.
That's not what you said earlier.
My preferences
Roll
are
back the tape.
You said she was a part of the itty bitty titty committee.
Yes,
and
she is.
It wasn't none but a mosquito bite.
2 bee stings.
She definitely should not have been arrested because it was nothing to see there.
Right. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep moving.
Is what you said.
B cups, I guess they could work, but that's just not my preference. My preference is C and above.
And okay, so what is this context here? Enough meaning enough for what?
All right, so
there you go. That's the questions.
So
questions that need answers.
Okay, so is it enough to catch your attention and turn you on? Because
how desperate am I?
Dan said that he was a breast man.
How desperate am I?
So if you are a breast man,
I tell you what,
are B cups enough to satisfy your preference?
If you're a breast man, no. Because breast men, I'm going to tell you, breast men, they like a set of crooked titties, right? And B cups are too small to be
Beck,
crooked.
you got crooked titties?
Fuck yeah, her titties crooked as hell. One be going this way, and one it's like
Beck,
a cross.
Your titties crooked?
Man, it's like, you know them kids, their eyes, like one eye go this way and one eye go this way.
Well, that's when she lies down.
She got lazy titties. One
no,
go this way.
because they're heavy. So
they gotta spread, man.
It's gravity.
Man.
Gravity is gonna make them.
But I must admit, and this is very common amongst women.
One larger than the other.
One is larger than the other.
Right.
There's nothing abnormal about that.
That is
And like
anybody who has perfectly symmetrical breasts, welcome to Dr. Scalpel.
Right, exactly. And like I said, a breast man knows that a good set of crooked titties, man, that's what's up.
So B cups can be crooked?
They're too small to be crooked enough.
Oh.
That, like, I'm telling you, them bitches need to look retarded.
Wait, are you calling my tits retarded now?
Yes. Absolutely. You have some retarded ass titties.
I didn't say it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I won't disagree. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And we will keep you updated with this case, whether it be through a post or a future episode.
And please do respond to these polling questions.
Yes.
Because we really want to know. And, you know, all jokes aside, I don't consider myself a feminist, but I do believe in equality as far as gender is concerned. Men and women should be treated equally under the law, and this law does not. And as I said on a previous episodes, there are many laws out there that maybe inadvertently, I don't think this one was inadvertent at all. This was very deliberate. They would affect women more than men, adversely affect women more than men. Because honestly, as Becky said, if a mother is breastfeeding, but you know there are many women who are actually shamed in public for breastfeeding. So it's, you know.
I can say that honestly though, and this is like the real side of me here, is men since the dawn of time have been trying to regulate women's bodies, their appearances.
That is correct.
And that's even going to, like, when you look at things like prostitution being illegal, how dare you make money with your body? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it you can trace
society
back to insecurity. I don't want my woman being out here being able to expose herself for other men to see. Like if you look at some of the Muslim countries, and no disrespect to them, but they cover their women from head
to
to
toe.
toe.
Some of them you can't even see
Right.
the eyes.
Well,
right?
Right.
honestly, another thing is you have to think of the perspective that men had about women at that time too, because they're viewed as property, and you need to control your property.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
You were not your own. That is absolutely correct.
And also, it's like trimming your bushes.
Shut up. And most of the laws on the books actually do stem from that.
Yeah.
You know, they are still
100%.
on the books as a part of that patriarchal society because women were seen as property. And as Dan said, I need to regulate what you can and cannot do.
Abortion. And again, going back to trimming your bush, if you have a bush in 2019, you're nasty, just like the dudes that be getting their nipples. So, peace out, people.
Really?
My name is Dan. You can catch me on Twitter at I am Dan on drugs. IG as well.
And just because you had your little soliloquy does not mean that this is going to end here. Let me tell you, vaginal hair can be sanitary.
I never said it was insanity. I just said it's nasty.
That's saying that it's unsanitary.
Man, you never had that shit stuck between your teeth.
No, I am not a carpet muncher.
Okay.
So just to let you know, vaginal hair can be nicely trimmed and sanitary.
And still end up between your teeth. And you
well,
be like,
look, no, you're doing it wrong. Because while you were up there, you shouldn't be up there.
A bush.
No,
we're talking about a bush.
Okay, you still shouldn't be up there. You're in the wrong section.
A bush.
You're in the wrong section.
Do you know how bushes grow?
Wrong section.
Do you know how bushes grow?
You know what? They don't go all the way up and in. You are in the wrong section. You're doing it wrong. If you're getting hair in your teeth,
let's add to the poll. Let's add to the poll.
You're doing it wrong.
Men. Oh shit! I ain't even recording.
Come on, man.
Men, fellas, have you ever gone down on a chick and ended up with hair in between your teeth?
I'm sure they have.
Exactly.
Okay, but here's what I said. If it is trimmed, if it is nicely sculpted.
What if the bitch got loose pores?
Once again.
What if she got alopecia?
If it is nicely sculpted.
Alopecia.
If it is trimmed, you should not have hair in your teeth. If you do, you are doing it wrong.
What if the bitch
You are
stressed?
concentrating on the wrong section.
What if she's stressed
I don't know
out?
about anybody else's hair, but I know where mine grows.
Where?
Beck?
Wait. Go ahead.
I'm just confused.
No, wait.
Some
So
of the
where?
remarks that Dan on Drugs has made.
Where does the hair on the vagina grow?
Why are you asking me?
It grows
because you're a woman.
It grows.
And you know, where does yours grow?
It grows from the pelvis and it grows down.
So here's the thing. If it is trimmed, should it get in someone's teeth if it is trimmed?
No.
Like I said, if it does, you're doing it wrong.
Hey, flaw. Help me out.
You're doing it wrong.
Help me out, Flaw.
You are doing it wrong. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies. Keep up with us on all social media at Black Law Podcast. Check out our merch. We're going to add some new carpet munching merch.
Jesus.
blacklawpodcast.com/shop. And I am Dan. You can catch me on Twitter and IG at I am Dan on Drugs.
You stupid.
And I have been renamed Crooked Titty Becky.
Oh, Crooked Titty. We got a new nickname
Crooked
for
Titty
it.
Becky.
Just for this episode.
No.
Not going any
too
further.
late.
No, it's not Crooked Titty. No. It is
CTB.
Retarded Titty Becky.
Yes, that's what it is. Retarded Titty Becky.
There you go. RTB.
Oh.
That's like RBG.
RTB. Lord have mercy.
Thanks for listening as long as you could have listened, because I'm sure you probably wanted to turn this off.
Now, honestly, I think
a little bit earlier.
I think they learned something, really. Even though, we go through some
look, if
crazy
they stay
shit.
too long enough to learn Dan on Drugs, porn search preferences,
Walmart, just type in Walmart. Like no bullshit. I'm gonna show y'all after this episode.
You're not.
It is real.
No, you ain't showing me
It
shit.
is real.
Anyway, I'm just Stan, and you can follow me on Twitter at @ITellLegalize. Honestly, that's another polling question. Do y'all learn anything?
Yeah.
Of course
from
they
us?
do. Of course they do.
You know, as crazy as we are, hopefully you are learning.
Something valuable to you,
Right.
not just information about Dan on drugs.
No,
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
sure they do. So again, just to reiterate, we're 10 minutes over here,
Oh.
and that's about right for us. But just to reiterate, are B cups enough? Should the male and female bodies be legislated the same? What was the third one? Hair in your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
If
And
trimmed,
If trimmed.
although I
trimmed-
said bush, but
No.
anyway, okay.
So if trimmed-
hair in the teeth, then do y'all
Do
learn
y'all
anything?
learn? Right.
So let us know. Peace out.
Later.